Every energy slash emotion has its time and its place. What's poppin'? Let's get right to it. Now, look, this life, all lives, but this life, you're not always going to feel the same, right? And like not every situation is going to be the same. Actually, quite the opposite is going to be a multitude of many different type of experiences that you experience in only one day, right? Like even on the mundane day. Okay, so you have to understand you cannot just always, you're not going to be able to be in just one energy field, aka in one vibe, aka in just one emotional field. Also with your thoughts, in what mental state you are. So we have to understand like there's going to be different times for different things. Look, when you feel hungry, right? Like, and that's a obscure almost metaphor, but you're gonna get the point. When you're hungry, right? Like you feel completely different than after you have ate, right? So like by default, and this is more like physical, but like we're just gonna use it metaphorically speaking. So that already shows you like, okay, is two completely different states, how you feeling emotionally and energetically. So now this is for the most simplest shit, but now let's take it for a deeper example. This is how it's going to be in life with all the type of people you meet and all the type of people that you're having conversations with or just experiences in general. So depending on the type of situation, depending on whatever type of experience you're currently in, it's going to be different energies, different emotions are going to be needed, sometimes even different type of mind states. So you really have to differentiate, and this is why I keep saying you have to use both your light and your shadow side, depending on the situation. Of course, we want to lead with love. Of course, we want to lead with compassion and kindness because the world needs it. The world motherfucking needs it, I swear. But you also have to be always adaptable and always be ready to switch up the energy at any given moment, Some people you're going to meet, let's say you meet a motherfucker like me, respectfully, it's going to be 9 times out of 10, it's going to be a positive experience, It's going to be fun, jokes, whatever, bam, 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 bam. But you're also going to meet a lot of people that are not like me, for example, and you really have to then, be strong, stand firm in your boundaries, because people come in all type of shapes and forms, And when I say shapes and forms, I'm not even speaking physically from the body. I'm speaking like energetically. A lot of people just go through this world, they hate themselves, they hate other people, and then of course, like what type of experience you think you're going to have with that person? Of course not a positive one, So this is why you have to be strong and understand, okay, especially when you're like a good loving person and you want the best for the world, you still have to have strong boundaries and understand, okay, every person that I meet is not going to be that way. That's why you can never just rely on one energy field, on one emotion, on one state of mind that you're currently in, because it's going to be so different in each situation. And that's why you have to also be honest with yourself and understand, okay, you're a multidimensional being on a spiritual level, but if we just use it on a logical level, you're a multifaceted person. So of course you're going to have different interests, different type of energies, bam, 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 bam. And it all depends on the situation and current experience that you're in. That's what I'm saying. You always have to be adaptable, Especially like if you're a good person, don't just be like, yeah, I'm a good person. I'm gonna just take all that shit that people throw at me because I'm a good person and I have to behave that way. No, fuck that shit. Fuck that shit. You don't tolerate any dumbass shit from no dumbass lost ass human, Because 9 times out of 10, most humans you meet, and I hate that I have to say it, but it's facts. 9 times out of 10, 9 times out of 10, the most humans that you're going to meet are like lost. They don't take time to care about themselves. They don't take time to self-reflect, see all their actions, see how they're like, what energies they're giving off. 9 times out of 10 people are not going to be into that, And especially like if you watch like a lot of spiritual content and stuff, you see maybe a lot of spiritual creators and stuff, but this is online. But then when you go outside, it's still a smaller percentage of people that are really like this in real life. And of course, everybody's on their own unique path, and every spirit learns their experiences at their own time and their lessons at their own time. But this is where you have to really keep that in mind. Like, okay, I have to keep strong boundaries. I have to really understand, okay, whatever my positive outlook on life is, whatever my positive wishing for life basically, and for humanity is, I still have to understand a lot of humans I'm going to meet are not going to be that way, Of course, we can then go deeper into you attract the type of people that you are, but look, you're in a planet with 8 billion other people, it's it's not, you're not just going to attract people that are on the same wavelength, you know, and you can attract people on so many different type of things, you know. So let's not get lost into that, but just understand this thing. That's why I'm saying every emotion slash energy has its time and its place. Use it wisely, you know. With that being said, if you watched the video till now, drop a black heart in the comments. Of course, follow for more. I love you, God loves you, and let's go.